Oh, welcome to my office. Hey, everybody. Hi, guys. Hi, Tracy. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hi, Kendall. Welcome back to Periscope. Welcome back to my office. Hi, Kim. Hi, Donna. Okay, y'all, I am back. I'm ready to go today. I had a little bit of a meltdown yesterday, but hey, we all do that every once in a while, right? So it feels good to be back. I had a good night's sleep. I had a great word, and so that was awesome. And so I'm just going to start by introducing myself. I'm Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister. And I'm not at all qualified to be anything now. I'm just kidding. I am, but it doesn't seem like it when I have a meltdown like I did yesterday. But that just takes us back to the basics, y'all. We all have to get to a place in our life where we are just going to really have a day of self-evaluation. So we got to evaluate ourselves and then manage ourselves. So self-evaluation, self-management, and I love getting my strength right here from the Lord. We did have a great night's sleep last night, and so remember, I started today by preparing last night. So last night I went to bed very well hydrated, and my husband and I prayed, and everything was good. Oh, hey, Franny and Wendy. That's awesome. Good to see all y'all. Okay, so got up this morning, went to do my workout, and I'm off to a good day, well hydrated and ready to go. So, oh, that is awesome. Got the whole family around. That is cool. So this scripture verse really encouraged me, and I think that it might have encouraged y'all too. So Isaiah 40 verses 30 and 31. Even youths become exhausted and young men even give up. But those who wait on the Lord, they will renew their strength and they will find new strength. That's what I have today, y'all. I've got brand new strength. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you pulled over. Good. Be safe. I've got brand new strength. They will fly high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. So y'all, I have a feeling that I'm going to run and not grow weary, and hopefully till the very end of this year, and I'm not going to faint. And if I do, I'm going to get up and keep on going, right? So I only made it 5 days into this year without having a meltdown, but actually that was good. Just to remind myself, I am not doing this on my own strength. In fact, thanks for sharing, Wendy. My own strength has no strength, right, y'all? Oh, good. I'm so glad that you're listening with your coworkers. Hi, Anna and Melissa. So glad to have all of you with me from North Carolina. That is awesome. Okay, guys, so I'm talking about habits today. That is the content. So, yes, right out of the gate, we're doing it. And now I'm reminded my strength comes from the Lord. Y'all, it was crazy yesterday. I got up and right off the bat, I rolled out of bed, rolled over, grabbed my phone, and started scrolling through social media. Okay, so I'm scrolling through social media, and some things that I read on my newsfeed, they just hit my, they're my pet peeves, so to speak. My pet peeves, it hit that hot button for me. And honestly, since it was the first thing that I did, it really got me, it sent me on the wrong path emotionally yesterday. I ended up saying all the wrong things. I ended up yelling at someone that I really love. I ended up just getting all out of sorts. And I'm telling you, I forgot appointments. The whole thing was a mess. However, it was a good lesson for me because I didn't realize that I had been letting myself go down this slippery slope of a bad habit. A bad habit of checking social media first thing in the morning, of looking at my notifications and just scrolling through my newsfeed, kind of like to help me like while I'm waking up in the morning. That is not the way that I want to wake up. I want to wake up by having positive thoughts. And so that means that I was waking up relying on my newsfeed being positive. And sometimes it's not, or sometimes it might be positive for someone else, but I might perceive it and it may be a hot button for me. If someone, we've all got our hot buttons, someone posts something that we don't agree with, and then we're like, hey, I don't agree with that. And that's going to start our day off with the wrong attitude. But listen, y'all know this if you've been Periscoping with me for very long. I'm not a victim of my emotions, but yesterday I was. So that helped me to back up and reevaluate and say, come on, what happened here? And so then as I've been thinking about that today, well, for the rest of yesterday and all day this morning, bad habits start so easily, and it's like before you know it, it's taken over, and you do it without even thinking about it. The bad habit of wasting time, on scrolling through my phone, wasting time, really just wasting time on my phone, reading things, scrolling through, just before I know it, hours are gone, or at least 30 minutes is gone, and it just gets away from me. So that is a bad habit that I didn't realize I had picked up, and then yesterday it just really took over me, and my morning got all out of whack. But y'all, let's think about what habit is. I love this definition. Now, if you were going through the dictionary and you were going to actually look at the way the word initially came about, remember, it was a type of clothing that nuns would wear. Remember, nuns wear a habit? Okay, so keep that in mind, because truly habits are something that we put on, like an article of clothing. You were not born with bad habits. I was not born with bad habits. It's true. Any mindless activity is where those bad habits sort of, come in. When we mindlessly are drinking a glass or two or three or four or a bottle of wine a night, or we mindlessly are drinking one beer after another beer or after another beer. Okay, you know what, Cocoa Puffs? Go to my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com, and review the EQ Periscopes, and then also review the Goals and Desires Periscopes. Thank you, Wendy. And those past Periscopes will help you a little bit with that. And that is so true. Seek first the kingdom of God. And when we think about habits, what we put on, so I want to put on the good habits that are going to start my day off right every day. Because remember 2016, if we think about the future is just successive nows. It's the habit, like the clothes that I put on today, and right now, and right now, and right now. And y'all, we can get in all kinds of bad habits of drinking the wrong thing, like I just said, whether it be too much alcohol or Dr. Peppers or Coke or coffee, but just, those kinds of things could be bad habits of eating too much sugar, eating donuts and candy and cookies or anything like that. It could be bad habits like arguing, like talking back, like being in a bad habit of letting my anger be out of control and just being in a bad mood. So there's all kinds of potential for all sorts of bad habits, like wasting time, being lazy, sleeping in too long, not getting ready until noon, or staying up too late and snacking late at night. I mean, it's a lot. It's pretty easy to identify bad habits. But first of all, to change the habit and to change our clothes, if you think about the habit as being the clothes that a nun would wear, to change those clothes, to take off that bad habit or the ugly habit, whatever it be, when we take those clothes off and we want to put on the clothes of a good habit, it's done the same way. It's done by repetition, by making a decision to do it over and over and over and over again. I'm glad you're painting. That's good. That's a productive thing to do. Good job. Okay, y'all. So when we decide to change our habits and to truly make up your mind, exactly like Daniel did, make up your mind about something different, that's where the change can begin to happen. Okay, so it happens, first of all, I always say admit it, quit it, and beat it. Because, in order to change a bad habit, we have to admit the fact that, hey, that is a bad habit. Instead of blaming other people or not taking personal responsibility, whatever the bad habit is, we have to really admit it first. So then we can quit it, and then we can beat it, and then replace that with a good habit. Just like changing your clothes. First of all, you have to admit that you need to change your clothes. That what you're wearing isn't so presentable as far as everyone else is concerned. So whatever your bad habit is, let's switch it around and make it good. And it can be done. Y'all, I work with people, and yesterday I had a very, very heavy load. It's like one thing after another after another. In fact, over the holidays, if you're a counselor, things get really crazy. Oh my God, like 50 Shades of Crazy, right? Over the holidays, it is a stress-filled time, and it begins to be really complicated. And I've got a lot of really complicated cases right now. And man, yesterday I was out of sorts, and that brought me down. I mean, I just felt the weight. I felt the weight of so much. And today, I don't feel that way. I feel like an eagle that is flying high, way above everything, which is where I have to be to able to help anybody, right, y'all? I can't help people if I'm discouraged. That's what discouragement is. It's like when you're truly pressed down, there is no courage. Thank you for all the prayers, Mavs fan. I love that. I love all the prayers. And I did have a lot of people lifting me up yesterday, which is why it was so beneficial to just be real, right, y'all? Might as well just be vulnerable and real, put it out there. But we are going, that's right, James, we're going to change our habits. So in order to do this, I went back and I saw a couple of really cute quotes. First, we make our habits and then our habits make us, okay? So this is my day 3 of working out in 2016 and I'm really sore right now, but you know what? A year from now, it's gonna be good and I'm gonna feel very fit and it's gonna work out really well. Your habits makes you feel vulnerable. Good point. It is scary. When I walked into the gym on Monday, I felt completely vulnerable. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't been here. That little meme that says, I'm too out of shape to get to exercise. That's the way I felt. Last time I was in shape, y'all, was in 2000. And I'm like, that's 16 years ago. That is way too long. So anyway, it is vulnerable, but it's putting on a new habit. So, good habits are as addictive as bad habits. At least that's what they say. So we'll see. But I tell you, it doesn't happen overnight. Whatever you feed grows and whatever you starve dies. Well, here's the thing about growth is you plant that seed and you keep watering it. It's going to grow. Hey, Brett and Teresa Johnson. Hi, Jonathan Landis. Good to see y'all. Thanks for joining. So whatever you see, whatever you feed grows. But listen, the harvest, it never comes in the same season as that seed was planted. So we started a new exercise routine this week, y'all. We're not going to reap the harvest of that for a good solid 3 months. And by the end of 2016, we're going to see some real serious results if we keep that up. So the good habits can be built, but at first we got to be willing to change those clothes from the bad habits, okay? We got to be willing to just admit it, quit it, beat it, change the clothes. Hey, Brett and Teresa or whoever that is. I love y'all. I love your family. It's so good to Periscope with you. Love it. Love seeing you guys. Okay, so I went back to Stephen Covey because isn't he the best? And I read this book years and years ago, probably 20 years ago, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right guys? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Excellent, excellent, excellent book. So I figured this week I'd review some of these habits because I'm changing habits. I'm going from bad habits, I'm changing them to good. And y'all, people change. It's true. I see people change. I have changed. Sometimes I slip back into some old bad habits, but man, when you see them creeping up, you can switch back into a good habit again. People do change. People change. It's just a matter of making a decision to do it. It's amazing the way people literally change. My son-in-law did an amazing thing. He completely changed. Are you doing any more DFW conferences this year? Oh, you know what? My parents, I think, may be. I'm not really sure. They may or may not be. I don't have that calendar set up. But anyway, y'all, so as we make a decision to change these habits and to literally put on new clothes with new habits, let's go back to this awesome information. So the 7 habits of highly effective people. Number 1, be proactive, not reactive. See, yesterday I was reactive. Remember what I've been teaching you guys about emotional intelligence? Yesterday I was reactive. My feelings were in this number 1 slot. Yesterday I was reactive. I was using my feelings. What I was feeling was irritated by a Facebook post that I saw that created my actions of yelling at someone that I love. And then it created my identity of feeling really badly about myself yesterday, which is not a bad thing because at least you can self-manage once you really self-identify what you need. So yeah, I got a good night's sleep and I'm good to go today. I told you guys. But you flip that around where your identity is first. Now remember, if you've got a bad habit, the next thing you have to do, instead of letting your cravings drive it, you've got to switch this around so your identity drives your action. Then your feelings will follow. So your identity, for instance, if your bad habit is smoking, then your feelings of that craving, that nicotine, if you let it, that's going to drive your action of grabbing a cigarette, okay? But if you flip it around, tell yourself, I'm a non-smoker, okay? So last night I had to tell myself, I had to remind myself of my identity so I can start fresh today, right? Tell myself, you know what? I'm a professional. What do professionals do? Professionals do what they need to do. I'm a professional. I'm a counselor. I'm a Christian minister. I cannot start off my morning with negativity. I've got to stay on my game. I've got to keep things positive. I've got to have self-control. I've got to see everything through a lens of love. So there's the good habits that I have to push through and really identify and say, hey, these are the good habits that I want. Okay, good habits like love, health. Choose to stay on my fitness plan. Choose it, goodness, knowledge, choose to learn more, choose to grow, choose to have joy, right? All of these things. Choose to have tolerance, right, guys? Life goals. There you go. You're hilarious. Be more like Trina. Good. I want to be an example to you. In fact, that is one of my goals, is to be a good example to you. My desire is that you really are able to change your own life. But, have more tolerance, have more patience, more perseverance, because things like an anger problem, things like throwing tantrums, how you adults have tantrums, all of those are bad habits. Tolerance, patience, love, those are good habits. So it truly takes changing those clothes and changing those habits. So admit it, quit it, beat it, right? Change your clothes so you guys can put on better habits. So 7 habits of highly effective people. Number 1, be proactive, not reactive. Be proactive, meaning establish your identity and then work in that. So admit it, quit it, beat it. That is being proactive. That is saying I am responsible for the positive influences in my life. I am responsible. That's right. I'm responsible. Excuse me, you guys. I gotta get tissue. I'm responsible for everything in my life that needs to be addressed. I am responsible for that. I am responsible for self-evaluation. I am responsible for self-management, right? I'm responsible to raise my own emotional intelligence. Be proactive. You can learn more. You can do whatever you want. So be proactive. Giving up tantrums. Yes, give up your internal tantrums. Be proactive. Okay, so change those clothes and put on tolerance and peace and love and patience and all those things. Okay, so number 2, begin with the end in mind. Okay, remember y'all, set your goals. Set your goals. Be sure that they're not desires. They have to be goals where you have got the power to make them happen. So your personal responsibilities. Set your goals. Begin with the end in mind. So be sure to really hone the skill of seeing if I'm on this path, where will it take me? Begin with the end in mind. If I'm on the path of scrolling through news feeds in the morning before I get out of bed, where's that going to take me? That's going to take me on a path of laziness. That's going to take me on a path of possible negativity. That takes me on a path of not being really well connected and well grounded in my faith and my relationship with God, because my priorities are all messed up first thing in the morning. I've got to really stand solid on the rock. The rock of my salvation is Jesus, and I got to breathe in the morning, and I got to really stand solid with my prayer and my Bible reading so that I'm ready to go. So begin with the end in mind, because if I begin my days that way, I know that it's going to end well. Okay, I know that. I know it's going to end well, and so begin with the end in mind. That's number 2. Number 3, and then I'll let you go till 9 o'clock tonight. Number 3, put first things first. So you've got to get those priorities. What are your priorities? So ask yourself, what are my values? What are my values? And then be sure that there's integrity there, that there's an integration, a coming together, an integration, a coming together, an integrity. You hear the similarity in the word there, an integrity, an integration of what you believe and how you behave. So what you believe and how you behave have got to integrate. So that's where you get your priorities, is whatever you're doing and how you spend your time. First things first. I had a mom say, There you go. Get your day. That is so key to get your day started. Before your kids are up and at 'em. I had a mom say yesterday that she was in the habit of checking her cell phone and scrolling through her notifications before she got her kids out of the crib. So the kids are in the crib ready to get out of bed, and she had gotten this bad habit of scrolling through her newsfeed and looking at her notifications before she got her kids out of bed. Prime example of, oh, wait a minute, I would never say that social media is my priority. I would say that my kids are my number one priority, okay? But if your kids are the number one priority, that means that you need to get them out of bed first before you check your social media, before you scroll through newsfeed and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and all that. So, it's got to be very, 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 it's got to have the integrity of your theology and your reality integrate. So what you believe and how you behave is lining up there. So that is number 3. Put first things first. Don't procrastinate. So if you say, like for me, I am a minister and I want to minister to people, and my first things first, I've got to get my Bible out first. This has got to be my first thing first right here. It has to be, because this is my priority. This is my solid foundation. It's my theology, so it's got to match my reality. Yesterday it didn't. Today it did, and I feel a whole lot better. So y'all, we're going to continue to cover what kind of habits we need to do. Thanks to Stephen Covey, and he was such a great man, left such a great legacy. So we're just going to keep unpacking these truths, y'all, because we're going to get this beginning of 2016, right? So we're going to complete the whole rest of the week is going to be talking about good habits. And hey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here it is. Yesterday was ugly. Today I'm back, and I'm back strong. So we're going to just go for it today, right, y'all? Okay, God bless you, and thanks for joining from Canada. That's so great to have you here. That's my next client that's going to be here in 5 minutes is a Canadian. So that's awesome. Anna, I'm so glad. I would love to have Anna join us on Periscope. I love you, Wendy. I love all of you. Thank you for your prayers yesterday. Thanks, Kathy. So good to Periscope with y'all today. It is a blessing being with you guys day in and day out. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, you blessed me so much. We really have got to have some sort of a Periscope reunion someday, and I'll get to meet each other personally. I'll host it at my house. How about that, you guys? Okay. I'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight. You guys have a great afternoon, and I'm going to have a great afternoon too. Hey, admit it, quit it, beat it, figure out your habits, and change clothes. Make the bad habits good, okay? God bless you guys. Bye-bye.